All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? Carmelo Anthony, he will soon be a free agent. The Oklahoma City Thunder don't want him. Carmelo Anthony doesn't want to be in Oklahoma City. He doesn't like living in Oklahoma. He doesn't like playing with Russell Westbrook and Paul George. They don't get enough shots for him. And the two sides have agreed that it's best for them to part ways. Now, this buyout will happen at some point this summer. The Thunder don't need to turn their salary cap in anytime soon, so they're in no rush. And they're actually trying to work with Carmelo Anthony because Melo's kind of doing them a favor by leaving. Melo has a no trade clause, so they need to work with Melo. They don't need Melo to be against them. They're going to actually try trading Carmelo. They're going to try every option they can before they just waive and stretch. They can waive and stretch him at any time, pay him his money over 5 years, and Melo can become an unrestricted free agent that way. But they're actually going to try to trade Carmelo to a destination of his choosing to see if a team wants him and see if the Thunder can get something back in return for a guy that's making $28 million against the Oklahoma City Thunder payroll. And it wouldn't be like a high salary cap guy. Like, they trade him for a veteran who's still good or a young player who's on a rookie contract. They don't want to bring in a lot of cap. They're well over the cap right now. I think they're $140 or $160 million in luxury tax. If they get rid of Melo, they can shave about $100 million off of that luxury tax if you do all the numbers and everything like that. So they're going to get rid of Melo. There is no way Melo will see his way back on the Oklahoma City Thunder. I don't think if even a guy like Russell Westbrook told OKC management he wants him back, I don't think at this point there's nothing that he could do. Melo's out. That's not a thing. And we're now starting to think about possible destinations for Carmelo Anthony. And one team is the team that you see behind me that they will be a viable contender. They're the one team for sure I know who will be interested in Carmelo Anthony. Why do I know that? Well, they were interested in Carmelo Anthony last year. They really wanted to bring Melo in, but the New York Knicks were unwilling to take on Ryan Anderson's contract. That is pretty much the only tradable piece that the Houston Rockets have had, not naming Chris Paul, James Harden, and Clint Capella. That's pretty much their only tradable contract that they have. And no team wants a Ryan Anderson, a 4 who can't guard anyone, who can't switch screens. And I think he's a decent shooter. I don't think he's great. There are other shooters that are better than Ryan Anderson in the league. Ryan Anderson can't even stay on the court. His body's breaking down. So we're at this point where now Melo won't have to worry about, in all likelihood, a Ryan Anderson contract stopping him from joining the Rockets. The Rockets won't have to worry about that. Remember, Melo's owed $28 million this year. The Thunder, if they have to waive and stretch Carmelo Anthony, they could pay him that over 5 years. Meaning Melo can sign with a new team for the veterans minimum. Though the Houston Rockets are over the cap, once they re-sign Clint Capella, you can always sign a veteran minimum player in the NBA. So any team that wants to sign a guy for about $2 million, they can do that, go deeper in the luxury tax. Obviously, we know teams have their mid-level exception, but in this case, the Melo, he's going to get that $28 million, so why not just go ahead and take a $2 million pay with one of these NBA teams out there and round that bad boy up to $30 million, and he'll be fine. That's a nice season for Carmelo Anthony, and he can play on a contender. The Rockets are going to want him. Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, great friends off the court. James Harden, he wants Melo there. He wants Melo around more than he wants a guy like LeBron around, because Harden wants a guy that's going to come in and do stuff, but not a guy that's going to take over. And Melo's respect, though fans and media personalities and reporters have seen freaking Carmelo Anthony's game diminish, players still respect Carmelo Anthony's work ethic and dedication. So guys like Harden and Chris Paul would love to have Melo around. See what he has left. See if he can help a team like the Rockets get over the Warriors. You can match up Melo with KD. See if he can use some of that mental advantage and get in ahead of a Kevin Durant in the conference finals if the Rockets are lucky to make it back there this year. See if Melo can still guard a LeBron for 15, 20 minutes. You did lose Trevor Ariza. At this point, I believe Melo can fit in that starting lineup in Houston. Though I believe it's time for Carmelo Anthony to take a backseat role because he's declined athletically, because he's declined from a standpoint of he can't even knock down that jumper consistently and be over 50% from the field night in and night out. I know Melo's going to want to be a starter, and with the Rockets losing Trevor Ariza, it looks like something has worked out for Carmelo Anthony to be a starter for that team, and that's what he wants. I think he should be on the bench, but the Rockets can make him a starter after they lost Trevor Ariza to the Phoenix Suns. I believe if Melo gets signed by anyone, it has to be Houston. I don't think the Lakers will be interested, and I don't think most teams in around the league will be interested. Teams didn't want to give DeMarcus Cousins $5 million, let alone give Carmelo Anthony $2 million. Just me. I believe Melo will be a Houston Rocket by the end of this summer. I believe at some point the Thunder are just going to waive and stretch him. No team's going to want to trade for him. And again, Melo has a no-trade clause at his disposal. So I think that's what ends up happening to Carmelo Anthony. He joins that big two in Houston, and we'll see if they can make it work. I doubt it, but I'm always guys like Carmelo Anthony, because they've been great for the pretty much most of their career, I never count him out. And he has to be willing to take a backseat role. Even if he's a starter, he is no longer a guy where you can get the basketball to and let him go to work and make a play. He can do that a few times a game, but not consistently anymore. He needs to understand, yo, I'm on a team to help, not be the lead guy. I don't have that in my repertoire anymore. Where do you believe Carmelo Anthony ends up? Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. You know he's going to a contender. You know he's going to try to go to a big market. I believe it's going to be Houston. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now you're turning up on MrTaliaferro.com, shawty.